The Yukon Territories, wild and untamed, is home to some of North America's most prized trophies, most notably the Dall sheep. And that is what draws Steve West and his good friend, the Vice President of Burris Optics, Pat Beckett, to this vast and beautiful land. This week's episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures begins now. Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Burris Optics, Stormcloth 2 Performance Thermal Outerwear, the new Corbon T DPX ammunition, the new Bresser 360 trail camera, Kershaw knives, CDA muzzle loaders, it's just a better gun, and UDAP Bear pepper spray.
North America is home to 4 different species of sheep: the Dall sheep, Rocky Mountain Bighorn, the Stone sheep, and the Desert Bighorn. Now, unfortunately, the hunts for the Rocky Mountain Bighorn, Stone sheep, and Desert Bighorns are so expensive and the tags are so scarce that very few hunters will ever get a chance to experience these hunts. However, a Dall sheep hunt is much more affordable and tags are a lot easier to get, making it the most hunted species of sheep in all of North America. Dall sheep inhabit the mountain ranges throughout Alaska, as well as the Northwest and Yukon territories of Canada. In recent years, due to greater hunting pressure, we've seen a decline in the success rates of the sheep hunters that are traveling to Alaska. However, the Dall sheep hunting in the Northwest and Yukon territories of Canada has remained exceptional, and it seems to be getting better every year. Now, unlike Alaska, the Canadian territories have almost non-existent resident hunting pressure, and the outfitters have exclusive guide use territories. Now, this means the outfitter can regulate the harvest and manage the wildlife, which in turn produces a better hunt for their clients, both in terms of success rates and trophy quality. This year I chose to travel to the Yukon territories for my personal Dall sheep hunt. I like hunting from horseback, but my main reason for choosing this area was its high population of sheep and the trophy quality of the rams. Now, I'm going to be joined by my good friend Pat Beckett, who just happens to be the Vice President of our sponsor Burris Optics, the makers of the new Eliminator laser rangefinding scope. Pat had never hunted sheep before, and I thought the Yukon would provide him with an excellent chance at harvesting his very first Dall sheep. We will be guided by sheep hunting legend Danny Moore. Now, at the time of our hunt, Danny had guided hunters to 197 sheep kills, and Pat and I were hoping to add 2 more notches on Danny's belt. What we're doing here, we're unloading all of our gear, getting ready for the float plane to come pick us up, take us to base camp. We're supposed to beat me at all of it. Oh, Pat, get this gorilla back here. I thought we were waiting for a plane. There's gear down there.
Well, birdwatch is really good.
Well, we're here.
When we come back from commercial break, Steve and Pat take the long horseback ride into Spike Camp, where their sheep hunt will begin. Parts of Steve's Outdoor Adventures are filmed on Wild Game Innovations action cameras. Affordable, high-definition hunting video cameras. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures was sponsored by the new Burris Eliminator Laser Scope. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures was sponsored by Bergara Barrels and Rifles.
Now, one mistake that hunters often make when arriving in their camp is to not take the time to check the zero on their rifles. The airlines are notorious for throwing around gun cases, and it's absolutely imperative that you check out your rifle prior to your hunt. Now, after settling into our base camp, Pat and I loaded up our rifles and headed out to the makeshift shooting bench.
Ready?
Yeah. Fire in the hole. Perfect. Dead center, perfect.
Dead center of the bullseye. Just a hair outside of the bull.
I pulled it too. I'm ready to go sheep hunting.
Sheep hunting is rarely done from a base camp. Hunters can expect to spend the majority of their hunt in a remote spike camp. And these are typically way up high in the mountains, very remote. By hunting out of spike camps, we're able to stay closer to the sheep, and we get to spend a lot more time hunting and a lot less time packing in or hiking.
All right, folks, what we're doing, we're loading up all of the saddles and panniers, and we're ferrying them across the lake here in the boat. Next, we're gonna swim all the horses over there. We're gonna saddle up, load up the pack animals. We're gonna start our ascent up to sheep camp. We've been kind of socked in here for the last few days. Finally got a break, beautiful blue skies, the weather's perfect for a ride up there today. Our spirits are running pretty high and I can hardly wait to get going. Horses seem to get taller. On to sheep camp. See if we can't get Pat Beckett his first doll sheep.
Now, the pack-in was a long one for sure, but the beautiful mountain scenery makes the trip very enjoyable. And the Yukon Territory is a beautiful place, and I enjoyed every minute of that long, arduous horseback ride.
We've almost topped up on this mountain here. We've made a beautiful climb all the way up this valley, this drainage. We're up to the top of it right now. We're resting the horses before we drop over the top. I want to make sure we got our wits about us. There's a good grizzly dig down here. It was just from this morning or last night, it looks like. We could go over the top of this and you could just be right there. You can pop out here in the grass and willows anywhere. Just a reminder that anytime you're out here, anything can happen. So, gonna rest up the horses, get up over the top, and start looking for some sheep.
The late August weather, which is normally very nice, turned ugly. The clouds set in and the rain and snow made hunting conditions nearly impossible.
Now on the ride in, we enjoyed beautiful bluebird skies. But that didn't last long. The next 7 days found us fogged in, low clouds, snow, rain, sleet, and we were unable to hunt or even see the mountaintops. We were just experiencing sheep hunting hell.
We've been glassing some of the lower hills for grizzly, but we can't see up into the sheep country just quite yet. We're still pretty hopeful that before the end of the day we can get out and do a little bit of hunting, but it's just kind of the way it is. Sometimes when you go up into the high country to hunt, you just get socked in, you have to deal with weather, and every now and then you lose a few days to hunting. That's why we book, 8 to 10 day hunting trips instead of, 4 and 5 day sheep hunts, because it takes a day to get to camp and sometimes you lose a day or two to weather. But like I said, we're still pretty hopeful. Spirits are still pretty high around here, and we know that we're in some really good sheep country. There's a lot of rams in this area, and hopefully before the end of the day, or at least the end of the week, we'll be able to get into some sheep.
Will Pat Beckett make the most of this opportunity? Find out after this short commercial break.
This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures is brought to you by Steiner and the new Predator Extreme Binoculars.
This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures was sponsored by the new Corbon T DPX ammunition.
And thank God the 8th day of the hunt finally brought us some clear skies. And right from camp, we were able to start glassing that morning. And just a couple of miles away, on the nearest mountainside, we spotted a band of rams. And we were pretty sure that at least one of them was definitely a shooter.
We spotted the rams this morning. Pat got up early and started glassing the hill up here. Came back, and sure enough, the good ram from last night's bedded on a ledge up there on the face, and he's pretty accessible. Problem is he can see our camp from about a mile and a half away. So we've got to make our approach on foot. They're getting the horses ready to follow us up, hopefully once the deal's done. So we got to hurry up and beat feet. Our guides are already working their way up the valley. Let's go.
Now we decided to set out on foot up the valley floor, and we're able to reach the base of the mountain directly under the rams in a very short amount of time and without being detected.
Is the one on the right or the two?
I switched. He's on the right. Right next to the one facing to the left, he's to the right. One facing left on the right.
Yeah, he's on the right, but he's facing left.
Yeah. Shoot it for right at 500.
I got him.
You got him?
Got him.
All right, let him have it. Yes! Yes, you got your first elf sheep, buddy.
Oh man, Danny.
Danny boy. Good job, good stop.
Oh man. I can't believe that. That is straight up.
That's awesome.
Hey.
Oh man.
527. 527 yards, uphill angle, shot it for 500
I
yards.
couldn't believe that.
Burst ballistic plex. Put the 500 right on him. Wham! Don't fall down in the hole there.
I'll tell you what.
Everything's wobbly here.
This is kind of good. Good hit, Steve. Thank
Good kidding, Danny. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Way bigger than we thought.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10-year-old man.
Yep.
So how do you know it's this one instead of this one?
Well, because this isn't really one. It's right here. Just lamb kip. That's all he grows his first year right there.
Well, folks, as you can see, Pat's taken a fantastic trophy here in the Yukon. It's been an amazing hunt. Our legendary guide, Danny Moore, has been able to find a perfect ram here for him. A bit steep, but you know, it's just been a phenomenal hunt. We've been weathered in for about 7 out of the last 9 days. We've been busting our butts up here in the fog, the wind, the rain, the sleet, the snow. We've seen everything except sunshine this week, and Pat made it all come true up here on the side of the hill. Kept asking him, are you gonna be ready when the moment of truth arrives? We got below him in our stock. We were able to get to right at 527 yards from this ram. Lasered him up with the Burris laser scope because it's real powerful and it's easy to get a good, accurate reading. Pat shot his Burris Ballistic Plex 500-yard crosshair dead on. Boom, put him down. Only possible with the Ballistic Plex, in my opinion. And Pat, congratulations.
Thank you so much,
Phenomenal
Steve.
ram. Danny, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Danny Moore's a legend, folks. It's his 198th ram. He's been guiding hunters up here in Canada since the late 70s, and there isn't a stone or Dall sheep up here that doesn't go to sleep at night fearing that they're going to meet him the next day.
Pat Beckett had taken a great ram. Will Steve get a chance to fill his sheep tag? Find out after this commercial break.
Closed captioning sponsored by Kershaw, the official knife sponsor of Steve's Outdoor Adventures.
Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Burris Optics, Stormcloth 2, Performance Thermal Outerwear, the new Corbon T DPX ammunition, the new Bresser 360 trail camera, Kershaw knives, CDA muzzle loaders, it's just a better gun, and UDAP Bear pepper spray.
If you'd like to book this hunt for yourself, give my office a call. The toll-free number and website address are listed at the bottom of the screen. And I'm always available to take your calls and answer your questions and personally help you book the hunting or fishing trip of a lifetime. With Pat Beckett tagged out, it was my turn to go after a ram. Unfortunately, we only had 2 hunting days left and the weather had once again turned really bad, which cost me another day of hunting. But on the 10th and final day of the hunt, the weather finally broke and the sheep hunting weather was absolutely perfect. Blue, sunny skies. The problem was we couldn't locate any rams. We looked in all the drainages. We rode a lot of miles and we saw some beautiful country, but it seemed like a ram was just not in the cards for me on this hunt. With a 10-hour horseback ride ahead of us, we broke camp early and headed back to base camp. Now, I was all right with heading home without a ram. I knew we had done everything possible to be successful, but you just can't do anything about bad weather and you can't fight Mother Nature. And that is when I got a gift from above. As we descended down the mountain pass into another valley, we spotted a band of rams above us on the mountainside. Danny and Amber, they got out the spotting scope and set up while my cameraman and I hurried into position. Come on.
Steve, the third one from the back.
Third one from the back.
Yeah, not the lead one. The third one from the very left. Got him?
Got him.
You got him? Okay.
Got him.
See where he comes. You got him, I think. Right in the heart. Just a minute. Don't shoot.
Yeah, I got him.
He's jacking another one in. No, he's down.
He's down.
going down.
Yeah, just cartwheel.
He went down.
Yes! Yes!
Woo! Good job, good job.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, last day, going in.
Going
Right on.
Yes.
Right on.
Holy
That's
cow,
awesome.
boy, he was going down.
He's gonna be right in the bottom.
He's gonna be in the bottom. Beautiful.
$10 years old.
Nice old ram.
job, Steve.
Thank you. Awesome job. Here, let me take a look at it. Oh. Woo! Well, yesterday was our last day of hunting, and today we had an 8-hour trail out to base camp. And Amber and Danny spotted this band of rams up on the side of the mountain up here. We all got down, got ready. They got the scope out, determined which one was the shooter. It was him. I ranged him up at 609 yards. I put the 600-yard crosshair behind his shoulder. I caught him a little bit far back for what I'd like. More along lines of center punched him. Ran down here in this drainage and died. What a fantastic animal. The beautiful scenery behind me tells it all. I couldn't think of better people to spend the last 10 days with. You guys, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
It's been a grand adventure, and I can hardly wait to see you all next year.
The old ram was 10 years old and he was heavily broomed on one side. You know, without the benefit of using the Burris rifle scope with the ballistic plex reticle, I would have never been able to make the shot on that ram. The ability to shoot extended distances has allowed me to take more game and become a more efficient and successful hunter. If you'd like to book your own Dall sheep hunt or any other big game hunting adventure, give our office a call. The toll-free number and website address are listed on the screen. We're always available to take your calls and answer your questions. Now, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's show. But please tune in next week for another exciting episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures.
Steve and Pat had successfully completed one of the most physically demanding hunts and taken 2 of North America's most treasured trophies. And as they leave the Yukon wilderness, they take with them memories of a hunt they will share forever.
Where you going? Me in the middle? You gotta get this is I'm gonna go for the captain pose here. Got a little captain in you?
You're gonna have a lot in you.